Yeah, in fact, I'd be shocked if you don't see it every single map.
And the closest thing to a standard anti-clutch that we're seeing there on the other side of things is a Ranger. I mean, when that shield pops up, throwing a Dire Orb into it can be a great way to end that run.
Yeah, Ruleth, I'm looking who he lost to Death Row and the third qualifier and lost to Rafa, and nobody's going to blame him for that.
Nope, not
in
somebody bad.
Qualifier number 2. And actually, I remember seeing that game. I thought he played, okay against Rafa. Rafa's just a beast. I mean, that's what the hell are you gonna do? I mean, but yeah, I thought he played pretty good in that game. Was just playing really smart, but Shane is Shane.
And no shame in that. All right, so we got Sen, we got Ruleth as they're warming up here. Again, Ruleth on a clutch Ranger Nyx, and Sen on a Ranger Nyx Visor. Pretty standard, and as you mentioned, Ruleth known for his clutch play. We're going to have to see how that plays out here.
Yeah, he's really good about utilizing the movement with the shield and the rocket and getting in people's faces and forcing engagements that way and getting frags. So just watch for it.
Round one.
All right, so we're going to be following Sen as we get started. He's going to be getting a play through the pillars, making sure he's getting the grab for Mega and Armor before making his first weapon pickup, a railgun. But oh no, it's already gone. He can take it away, and he's looking for the rail as Ruleth pops up onto the bridge, but he doesn't quite get the hit. But that railgun is the only thing keeping Ruleth off his back right now. But it doesn't really look like Ruleth is all that eager to get into a fight right away here.
He looks like he was just reading and listening.
Yeah. But his reads are pretty good here so far. It's going to be very difficult for Sen to make his way up the staircase. He's looking for the rail, but he ends up eating one instead. Part of this complete breakfast for sure, but Sen will need to finish off with a nice Mega health.
Very slick by Ruleth for newer players. Don't just drop straight on the armor. The way he dropped off center like that, what made the difference there.
It looks like Sen didn't even really want to go in for that Mega. He still doesn't have a rocket launcher here. Wow, that rail, though. Pulled that out of nowhere. He's still looking for a rocket.
Yeah,
He's still looking for a bit more of burn on Ruleth's stack, which is going to be significant here as he just keeps cycling the items.
Yeah, Ruleth, he's stacked, though. He can really pick a lot of those.
So finally, here's a Mega for Sen, and it's actually a little bit strange that Ruleth wasn't there in time. I mean, Ruleth, I can't blame him for taking all the items and then trying to trap your opponent and force them into a fight in between items, but he left it open a little bit too long, and so Sen was able to get not only the Mega, but 2 rails knocked off of Ruleth.
I think given his shield was down, I think he was less inclined to go push like that.
Yeah.
I think if his shield was up, he would probably been more aggressive with that Mega.
And Sen should indeed have timing here. He's going to be able to find Ruleth on the jump pad, looking for more than one rail. Here comes the shield out. It's not going to be lasting long. Oh my god, that pop, though. Looking for the finisher on the LG and the rails, and there it is. Ruleth's clutch is no more.
Yeah, hit him off the wall there with that rocket and it threw him in the air. And then, Ruleth tried to throw some shots out there, and well-timed by Sen. He snuck in some shots of his own to get the kill.
All right, so that's certainly going to help him out here. He hasn't really been able to turn this into a full cycle of items, but he should have timing. He's going to know that both items are up, but he can't just Ruleth down below in between items. And so we might see a Dire Orb commit to the Mega. No, it's not going to happen. Instead, he's probably going to juke back over to the armor. Cannot blame him. Did he actually get that armor? Yeah, he should have. Okay, good. So they're going to be relatively even at this point now. And the timings are actually even again as well, so that doesn't really help Sen out. He had the split going for a little while there. But he's keeping control of mid-map and looking for Ruleth to pop his head up. But Ruleth is doing a good job of staying down below, and look at the stabs he can do from down there, catching Sen mid-air with that rail.
Yeah, Sen looked like he was pretty content. He wanted to control rocket launcher bridge area and just kind of go back and forth between the two, but Ruleth really wasn't giving him any target, so he had to make an adjustment there.
Can't blame him, but now Sen's going to be stuck in the corner. Well, as stuck as somebody can be with the Dire Orb, but orbs or no, Ruleth will be able to even it back up, taking down that Ranger.
Nice ambush, nice finish. Good rockets from Ruleth. Tied up.
All right, so Ruleth back on top of bridge and able to pull that Nyx out of midair. Would have been maybe a good time to do the Ghost Walk, but he's going to be turned into the other kind of ghost instead. Ruleth Now 1 frag in the lead. Only has to deal against a visor here in the first round. Mega's about to be taken. Might pop through the teleporter. I don't think Sen should have a rail just yet. He's just going to try to do a little bit of spam damage with machine gun. But look at this. Ruleth is even cutting off the rocket launcher here. This is a ton of pressure coming from Ruleth. There just isn't much of an escape. Oh, but escape or no. There's the gauntlet, turning it right back around against him. Chasing somebody through a teleporter is always dangerous, and that's exactly why.
Yeah, just no. It's all I could. All I was thinking is
Don't do it. I had a bad feeling as soon as he went through the teleporter. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I knew. As soon as he was looking at the teleporter, I had a bad feeling. What are you doing? Go in there. You could have backed off. He really could have backed off, taking the heavy armor, which would probably been a better idea at that point.
All right, but that's going to be a first round there, finally taken away by Sen. What a hard one there.
Prepare to fight.
Yeah, that's the round that got away. You know, at this level, you're trying to qualify, and these games are going to get tight. It's really tough when you give away a round like that. Ruleth probably wants that one back.
All right, so Ruleth once again starting here with the clutch. But I'm glad we're seeing him here because he's not quite making the jump over. All right, but Sen is going to be on the attack here as armor's finally taken away. He was creating an initial split between the timings, so at that point, Ruleth needs to know that, all right, this is the time to get back over to Mega. This was the whole point of me doing this, was that I would be the one with the most knowledge about the item timing, and I would be the one to be able to get both. So there it is.
That's always the plan in theory.
Oh, jeez, that rail. And he tried to dire orb away, but could not make it out of there. Nicely done. Really well executed by Ruleth.
And now Ruleth is in a great spot here with, I mean, you got clutch and you're running both items. I mean, you're going to be super stacked right now.
And against a Nyx, I mean, Sen has got a lot of work to do here. And both of them being willing to trade off rails, well, the math is not favoring Sen. Neither is
and
the
he already
armor
popped
control.
his abilities down too. He popped that earlier. Oh, nice railing though. Oh, he's just.
Gee, what?
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, I blinked.
Oh my goodness.
What? It was a fully stacked clutch.
Well, when you eat 5 rails, it'll do that.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. Ruleth, no more clutch for him. Once again, taken down almost way too easily there by Sen. Now it's going to be Ranger and Nyx. Ruleth doing some pretty good spam damage off here to make sure that Mega is going to be safe. And he still has timing, but here comes the Gauntlet potentially once again to make it happen. But no such luck this time as he goes for the Ghost Walk. It is still being aggressive. And he comes back up the jump pad, and he turns that into a frag. What? He caught him in between weapon switches.
Yeah, Ruleth was already low, too. So little panic there on his part. You know, he was just trying to defend the pad and just got caught.
It's not like Sen was much better off there either. I mean, Ruleth is turning this respawn back into a grab of Mega. It's not like he's lost out on both of the items, but it's going to be Nyx on Nyx, and he doesn't quite make the jump up top, so he's going to eat that rail, not be in a place he wants to be, and recovering is not going to be easy. Yeah. Coming back into mid, he's got to watch his back here.
I was almost a little surprised Sen didn't drop down at that light armor around Lightning and go for a kill there. He really had Ruleth in a bad spot. Playing a little more instead of taking the safer route.
Right, this should be the third Mega in a row taken away by Ruleth, but Sen is going to be looking over from the rail platform. Not going to catch him just yet. Alright, so Sen coming back over to bridge. It's going to be a mutual trap, but who's going to trap who? Always a question between Nyxes. Well, the answer is neither. They both go Ghost Walk, but Sen is still looking a little bit weaker off here, but again, one rocket either way. Here comes the LG. The initial damage is Sen's, but the frag is Ruleth. He's back in this.
Big frag there, big frag. You know, I was kind of looking at, you know, item pickups, item management. Ruleth has a significant advantage in heavy armor and mega health pickups. Doing a better job running the items. He just needs to close the show on this guy and get some of these finishing kills. And you know, he kind of gave away that last round. So
Ruleth is looking a little bit nervous here, just throwing off as much spam as he possibly can just to get Sen weak enough to stay off his back. He needs his armor. He needs to get back over across the map. He's never lost the timing this whole time. He's lost the fights, but not the timing. He can still get back in and get the Mega, but he wants this frag right now. He wants this one in the bag. Safe or not, it's going to be, well, a little bit unsafe. 2-0 there on Sen's favor.
Wow, it's just really close. Just anytime, it just seems like Ruleth is so close to really pulling these rounds out. But Sen, sometimes he's pulling out some clutch action, man. Really just landing the shots that he needs to turn the tide. Because I can't help but look. He only has 3 heavy armors to 12, 6 mega health to 10. He's really living off of the light armors, but he's dishing out almost 1,300 more damage than Ruleth. So.
All right, well, you were looking for that clutch play, and I think we might just now be seeing it. Sen has his Ranger immediately take it on down, and this is where I was thinking Ruleth would be pretty comfortable before. I mean, he's a clutch, and before he had all the items, but then 5 rails in a row, we know what Sen is capable of, and now so does Ruleth.
Yeah, Sen's starting off hot, just like we saw yesterday with the sacrifice. I mean, some of the rails we saw from him, 18 of 31 right now, 58%. So he's definitely good. That's a good percentage.
Absolutely. So Ruleth is looking for a fight out of the teleporter, not once, but twice. Finally going to see him up on the stairs, but he ends up taking the hit instead. Down to 99 health. He might as well not even be a clutch at that point. Ends up taking another rail for his trouble. Has to be very careful crossing the map back over in order to secure a mega. But now he's going to need to be the one to take away the little armor and the 25. But look at this aggression, this pressure coming from Sen. He knows he has the drop on them and is finding every conceivable angle to sneak a rail in. Ruleth is going to have a really tough time getting it out of there. And there's the telefrag to finish him off. I mean, if it wasn't going to be the telefrag, it was going to be a rocket.
Or that gauntlet.
Yeah, no kidding.
Good aggression from Sen. You know, had that clutch on the ropes, didn't allow him to get away, just kept pressure on him, kept railing him, and then moved in for the kill.
All right, so Sen is now looking for a way back into this. It's one-on-one here. As dire as we're saying things are for Ruleth, he's doing, well, that was a bad time to maybe to voice that opinion. But yeah, Sen is doing really good damage here, and now it's down to this Nyx for Ruleth to stay in the running for Blood Covenant.
Yeah, that was just a clean read. He figured out he was a rocket launcher, and then he heard the rocket jump over to the rail ledge. Little prediction rocket, bounced him up and took him right out of the air. I mean, this is just a solid play from Sen right there.
It's not like he has a lot of information on Ruleth's position right now. He's going to hear him up on top of pillars, but he goes Ghost Walk. So Sen is still looking for him. He's actually around the corner looking for him with gauntlets, rails, and rockets, and he's not going to be there. Is he going to get caught down here in the 25 once again? Nope. No such luck there for Ruleth. Or Sen, for that matter. But here comes the armor, and here's one rail. And, yeah, this Ghost Walk could be really bad news for him. But there's the response Ghost Walk, so neither player really gets a lot of damage out of that fight. It's not like Sen is walking around with armor or mega control, but he's just doing so much more damage.
Yeah, this really has been the story of this map so far. I mean, he really is winning the fights, and it's paying off for him.
I like that little switch to the gauntlet as he's coming through the teleporter, but the teleporter is once again going to be ground zero for these frags, as Sen is able to take out Ruleth and Blood Covenant. Nicely done, nicely played.
Yeah, well done. I mean, he really was winning those fights. That's to me the difference in that map. He was really just putting himself in better position, I guess, and really landing the shots that counted. Just looking at the damage overall, I mean, he really put it on him, man. That's a lot of extra damage. So even though Ruleth had, I mean, mega health, heavy armor, you can see the pickup advantage he had. He just wasn't making the most of it. Just getting caught, and there were a couple of rounds there. It was really close, especially the one when he lost with charging through the teleporter and got pummeled. Was just really close engagements here and there. But in the end, Sen was really giving Ruleth all he could handle in those engagements, and that was the difference.
Yeah, absolutely brutal aggression. I mean, Quake has always been a game about realizing when you've got your opponent on the ropes and being able to make that push in. And, Quake being Quake, sometimes, that last rocket doesn't go your way, and you lose all of your advantage very quickly. But things went so well for Sen there, at least on, I wanted to say DM6, Blood Covenant. But it's going to be Blood Run now as we move back over, which is probably a better map for Clutch. I mean, his ability to dash down the stairs from upper teleporter is so useful because it can turn into an immediate advantage on the play for armor. And actually, even jumping from the catwalk towards the armor with the dash can open up a really nice rail angle as you're midair that most champions just don't have the ability to capitalize on. But we do have Sen also pulling out a sore lag.
Yeah, I really like so many corridors here, and Spellbearer, good pick.
Yeah.
Nice pick. A lot of areas here for I think the tankier champions really get the shine here because a lot of corners come around and there's a rocket launcher battle, and you don't want to be with the Nyx and no ghost walk down in that in that position, going against a fully stacked character. So a lot of times, I see these people picking these players picking at least one tankier champion, especially on this map. I mean, I've seen Clutch being very popular and Sorlag actually.
Yeah, like you said with Scale Bearer there, I mean, this hallway with the Mega was just made for Scale Bearer. This is the long runway to victory. There. Yeah. All right, so these guys are going to be doing a little bit of a quick warm-up, but we're going to have to see if these champ changes turn into a round change for Ruleth, who is now on alert.
See if Sen stays as hot as he started. I mean, he was landing some just great rails. The stuff we saw yesterday too. Again in the sacrifice games, I saw some stuff from Sen. It was really impressive. So, not surprising to see him land some of those shots again today.
Well, we can already hear a little bit of aggression coming from Sen here as he dives down for a railgun. Ruleth is going to try to stay up top, making sure it's safe before going down. And man, making a really solid hit. Can't quite get the second one, but Sen is going to have to back off there a little bit to get some more armor. Ruleth up top, again, making a really nice, solid rail. Really clean, really good, and one that Sen wasn't really looking for this time.
Oh, nice.
And that's always a possibility with Ranger, of course. That Dire Orb just doing the work with that telefrag. Not easy to do, and if you're watching it on stream, you're like, oh, he just pushes F. Well, he has to push F twice, actually, but the timing is really the key thing there.
You see it's very common, though, when they're up and they get up in their face, and it's a quick reaction, right? You're throwing it so close to your opponent that they have no chance of dodging. So as long as you time it right, they're dead.
Absolutely, and Ruleth actually getting a little bit of love from the Rockets up there going, hey, can I get that hit again? No, but he can get hit right before he gets the pick up forward Mega. And what's interesting to note here is that compared to most Quakes, that Mega completely nullifies any damage you just took in that fight instead of just adding 100 to your stack. So it's totally worthwhile being a little bit riskier if you know that you can get that item.
As long as you get hit before you pick it up. It's good. You don't want to be getting hit after you pick it up. Not good.
Oh, I like that play. He was trying to go for it with the Dire Orb, but man, all that damage that Sen took. He's still back in this with the Mega and taking the frag as well. We have Ruleth coming back in as that Clutch. And as I stated, I'm really expecting to see more amazing things out of Clutch here on Blood Run.
Easy prediction rocket there for Sen on heard the armor in the back room.
Looking for that rail. A little bit slow on the draw, but he gets the hit anyway. It's not like Sen can take too many of those, but at this point, neither can old Ruleth. Oh, geez, that rocket out of nowhere. He thought that room would be safe to recover from, or recover to, rather. Good ghost walk. I like this. This should get him the frag. If you didn't get that, I would have been really mad. Yeah. So, two down for each player. Yeah.
I thought saying he could have maybe got out of there, but yeah, it looks like he just totally lost track of what he wanted to do and where he wanted to go.
Sometimes you just get tunnel vision with those items coming up. You need to make sure that you know where your opponents are and what their relative priorities are. And so Ruleth taking a little bit of a breather here. He's done a little bit of damage against that Scale Bear, but he has to really be careful not to get caught in this hallway. Nice. I like this spam. And he's getting some decent hits as well. I'm not sure how much that last rocket did, but with armor coming up, he's actually going to get it pretty cleanly. Doing enough damage to Sen to make him think twice about sticking around. Now, this next Mega is going to be big. I mean, Sen already has a huge health stack. It's not like Ruleth can really take it away from him or, surpass it, but preventing this Mega grab would be incredibly handy. All right, it's going to be up. The bait is set, but if it's a Scale Bear, you also have to think twice about that hallway. Really good response. Nice pop, nice movement, and through the teleporter. Oh, Sen was expecting him to be behind him. I mean, he was behind him, but not the behind he thought.
He was.
Yeah.
Well, he was behind him the second time, not the first time. Or was it the third time? I'm not sure, but yeah, he got a little turned around there, obviously.
That's the beauty of Ghost Walk. It's the beauty of Nyx. Really well played out there by Ruleth. So they're going to be starting off here. We've got Ruleth already with the railgun in hand. Sen's going to be looking for that rocket launcher. And yeah, he got away with it already there. So Ruleth is expecting to catch Sen up top as they both go quiet. Incredibly quiet. But one play through the teleporter would change everything here. There it is. Oh, it's a potential mid-air battle there, and there's the mid-air rocket to give Ruleth the fight, give him the frag. And give him a huge advantage coming into this next round here on Blood Run.
The quiet before the storm there, right? Everything was quiet, and it's like, you know, these items are coming back up. These guys are going to make a move. Ruleth just got the better of it there. Nicely placed rockets.
And Sen has to be cautious about this Dire Orb once again coming up from Ruleth. Sorlai can have such a great stack, but that Dire Orb will just finish him off so quickly. Nice little bit of damage with the rockets, especially as Mega hasn't come out just yet. And there's the Mega taken away. And yeah, the last little bit of those nails disappearing before Sen can get any damage out of them. So there's Mega and armor taken away by Ruleth. He knows he's got the next few seconds to enjoy just to try to get some damage in. Nice.
Yeah, it's doing a good job making sure he's not in position to eat that Sorlag spit either, right? You don't want to get too caught up in doing damage and let him get in your face.
Oh geez, once again, he looks just the wrong way as that Sorlag's to be picking up the Mega. We have a little bit of acid play from Ruleth. He's able to recover just fine though, but out of the teleporter, Sen wasn't looking for him, and there's the rail to LG to finish him off, putting him back onto that skill bearer once again.
Yeah, clutch rail, good switch to the lightning gun, you know, it's just a quick reaction to get the finish, and while backing up onto the health bubbles behind him. So just overall good awareness. Good kill.
Oh geez, barely avoiding that angle on the rail. Here comes the scale bearer again. I mean, Ranger is such a good counter to that rushdown. If you don't get the telefrag, you do potentially teleport right behind him. And the train that scale bearer is, he cannot turn around fast enough and cannot live either, apparently, as Sen is taken down once again.
Prepare to fight.
A big turnaround here on this map for Ruleth. Now he seems to be getting in the groove, starting to control the map, really utilizing the map control that he didn't get to take advantage of, I guess, in the previous map. It seemed like Sen was out fighting him, but that seems to be evening out now. 9 armor pickups to 2. So he's really dominating the armor. The mega healths are relatively equal, but picking up all that extra armor is definitely helping him out.
And Sen also showing us that sometimes that bull rush is useful just to reposition yourself on the map. I mean, Scalebearer is not the fastest guy in Quake Champions, but that ability certainly does help him get to where he needs to be. Ruleth going to be kind of circling around top map. Kind of expecting Sen to show up, but he's going to be down by rocket launcher instead. Ruleth going quiet here once again as both items are coming up. It's a bit of an option select for them right now as we hear and see Scalebearer making the jump and the run for the Mega, getting the pickup, only taking half damage from that rail. But that still means that Ruleth will be getting the armor as well as the rest of this damage. Holy crap, the rails are whiffing either way, and it's so risky for both of them, especially Sen, as he is now railable.
Yeah, a little Ruleth probably should have quick swapped something a little faster shooting, more, you know, like a lightning gun, machine gun after that last hit, because he really had Sen on the ropes there. He did not need another rail shot.
Absolutely not. So there's the beginning of full control here for Ruleth. I mean, as he comes through this teleporter, he's actually going to be cutting Sen off from the exit into the heavy armor room. And even coming down the stairs, this is a bad place for him to be. And against the Ranger, once again, that Dire Orb just completely nullifies that bull rush. Can he nullify the rest of these rockets, though, with 37 health? He's got to back out of here. There's the rail to find him, track him down, and finally get a frag on the board for Sen.
A little
nice. Oh, no.
That was short-lived.
Yeah.
That was short-lived.
Hope he enjoyed it.
Those little oops. Ruleth actually had a good position for a frag before that. I think he just lost his LG tracking a bit. And because of that, Sen made him pay. He was in good position, though. He just lost his man a little bit with the lightning gun.
Absolutely. So he ends up taking a little bit of damage there as Sen runs away with that armor, thinking, I've got to get something out of this on a fresh spawn. I have an ability. I can get out of there if need be with the Dire Orb, but I need an item for sure. Ruleth, though, nearly at 200 health. As Mega's coming up, he's thinking, I don't actually need this. If I can bait it, I could get so much more out of it. And here comes the bait. The trap is set, and the damage is dealt. Not a 100 damage rocket, but still a really solid one, making this play out of the teleporter really difficult. But, oh, shield or no, there's the Dire Orb to take him back down.
That's one way to break through a clutch shield.
As Sen could still indeed be in this thing. Ruleth doesn't know he's behind him.
Sen missed his rocket jump.
But through the teleporter, Ruleth also misses an opportunity there. He's one frag behind here. He's got to make something happen pretty soon. Mega's going to be up, and he needs it. He needs to do some damage. He's expecting the Dire Orb and goes in for the steal. Doesn't quite make it. Neither of them get it, actually. But there's the Ghost Block to keep him safe, and the rockets are solid, but the last rail from Sen fading away, turning it into his round.
Yeah, just a little too much stack there for Ruleth to get through. I mean, he had a good ambush, but after he picked up the mega health and everything, that's a lot of damage to go. And it gets while you're a Nyx, I mean, odds are you're probably going to get hit with a little something in that fight. But,
ow!
Oh man!
You have to respect a Ranger who spawns across from Mega. That Dire Orb is just too tasty, and it's a spawn that happens all the time. So anybody who's playing a Ranger is going to be getting a lot of practice with that timing.
Yeah, what a start for Ruleth. Just wow. Yeah, I mean, you saw it coming. I mean, you see the guy charging down the hallway, and you're like, oh, he's Ranger. He's definitely going to throw a Dire Orb there. And yeah, well, it's a good way to start a match.
All right, so Ruleth is 2 frags away from turning this into a tiebreaker map. Mega's going to be up and taken pretty cleanly here. Ranger on Ranger now. We've got armor taken away by Ruleth as well. Sen is starting to look a little bit worse for the wear in terms of stack. We're going to have to see how the traps go, though. Now there's the audible teleporter. It's so loud this time around. You're not going to get snuck up on there. And a beautiful rail. Ruleth has been really the king of these final nailed-the-coffin rails.
Yeah, nice ambush there. Read his opponent over at Rocket Launcher, was just patient. He knew he was probably going to go through the portal, stayed quiet around that pillar there. And as you mentioned, you're coming through that portal's really noisy. You got the steps there as well. There's just no way to come out of it quiet. So yeah, good setup by Ruleth.
Nice. Ruleth is looking for the damage, and he's got nothing but free damage to do here. And I like the fact that he was moving up the stairs at the same time. It meant that he had the potential at least to catch his opponent out of the teleporter and not lose out the ability to play in for this next Mega. Now, he knew that the armor was going to be completely safe either way, so the pressure wasn't really on Ruleth. It was like, I can take some free damage if I want to, but I don't need to extend myself.
Yes.
And man, that LG, Sorlag proving to be an LG magnet once again.
Just can't do that. I mean, coming out on the shotgun platform wide open with a Sorlag against Ranger with the lightning gun. I mean, I've mentioned in previous duels that you got to be really careful exposing yourself in the shotgun area of Blood Run because you could be railed. Lightning gun is really effective, easy to line people up when they're standing in the shotgun area. And of course, your avenues of retreat aren't great. It's really hard to get back into those hallways once you're already exposed. Or the other option is to drop down to low ground, and now you're getting shot at from above. It's not a whole lot of options out there. It's more of a power position to be out there, basically. So it's a little careless by Sen, and Ruleth took full advantage.
Yeah, I mean, there was a huge distinction between Ruleth's ability to get those rails in from Blood Covenant to Blood Run, and at least part of that has to be how much you think you can risk based on what you know about what your opponent can do to you in retaliation, and that was a night and day difference between the two maps. And because of that, of course, we're going into a tiebreaker. It should be Corrupted Keep, I believe. Yep, there we go.
Always fun. I really enjoy this map. I think it's probably my favorite, of all the duel maps right now.
It's been a great addition.
It's so fast. Yeah, and I like how fast-paced it is. The no rail is really interesting. It kind of brings back a little bit of a forgotten Quake flavor right before the railgun, going back to the Quake 1 days, if you will. So I really enjoy the map. I think it's great. I'm curious to see how Ruleth does here, because I think Clutch is highly effective here.
Absolutely, and I like that trade out for a Galena as well. We have Sorlag coming in also, and all of them are great picks here. There are a lot of really viable strategies on this map. In fact, it's probably one of the ones with the most distinction between the champions in terms of what they can and can't do. I mean, everybody kind of has a good fit here, except for maybe Slash. There's just too many close corners. Yeah,
you got to be careful of those light characters here. Even Anarchy, I mean, at least he has his injection. I guess that's one thing. Is Anarchy can take some damage, and maybe if it gets hairy for you, you can use your injection, get out of there, and at least you're back to your normal health stack that you can be at. But yeah, Slash really doesn't have anything. But she's so fast. I mean, I can't comment because I can't crouch slide worth a damn with that champion. So I mean, if I wanted to use her, I couldn't use her even if I wanted to. So it's it's kind of a moot point for me.
Well, I am ready to be proved wrong, but it won't be this match. Now we're going to be seeing the conclusion of Sen versus Ruleth. Good luck to them both.
3, 2, 1.
All right, we're going to be seeing Ruleth out of the gate, getting a spawn on Mega. Going to be taking that right back up to LG. But of course, it's always that rocket launcher that ends up being the first big danger zone here. It's going to be Sen getting the first rocket launcher, trying to go in for the dire orb, but Ruleth is going to need to stick to traditional weapons to get that first frag, and there it is.
Yeah, really aggressive by Sen pushing in. Ruleth actually lost him there for a minute. Just Sen didn't capitalize and land the shots he needed to get that frag. Yeah, good job by Ruleth. Just stuck with it, stuck with the lightning gun and got the kill.
Absolutely. So now looking for that next one here. He's got a Sorlight to deal with, and you know that Sorlight is going to be able to get that rocket launcher. He should have one already, but he's going for the dire orb once again. He actually dire orbs right into all of that acid, so it's going to be a traded off frag, a little bit of revenge from the grave as that puke gets the last laugh. That's going to be clutch on Nyx. That's always a fun matchup. I like this little bit of shotgun damage, and against a Nyx, it's enough to keep her off your back a little bit. But he's coming up over the top, making sure to pick up these 25s, making full advantage of his 150 natural health. And there's another trap on rocket launcher. He's got to be really careful here. He fires at the wrong time, and the rocket sneaks its way through in order to take him on down. So immediately, 1 minute and 20 seconds in, we have 4 frags on the board. It's going to be Galena and Nyx now, and that's really dangerous for Sen. I mean, running into one of those totems will absolutely wreck your day.
Yeah, a little careless by Ruleth too. You should have recognized he didn't have a rocket launcher, so your opponent's going to be ready for that. And a lot of times opponents do try to ambush there. You know, a preemptive pop of the shield and going in there with super shotgun and a shield isn't terrible. You know, it really forced him off. But by the time he did it, it was too late. He took too much damage.
And I like how Ruleth is stacking up these totems all in one area so far. Just like, all right, you think you've gotten rid of the one. Nope, there's another one right around the corner for you. But he's going to hear them getting taken on down. It's going to reveal Sen's position a little bit, actually causing Ruleth to turn back around and go, maybe I don't need to be up there. Maybe I want armor instead. He's going to get it, but he's also going to get a ton of LG in his face. Oh, jeez. Ruleth is definitely on his last legs here. I mean, this is a great room to recover, but you can see it, it's so open. It's really difficult to defend yourself here, but fortunately for him, he's got his totems available to give him a little bit of a helping hand. He still doesn't have a rocket launcher, still doesn't have LG. He's finally able to get those rockets up and get ready for this next play on the armor. Completely lost his opportunity to take over that Mega, though. And it is one unique thing about this map. I mean, because of its size, you can actually deny that rocket launcher much longer than you could in most other maps. So Ruleth going quiet here, looking for Nyx. And I mean, there should be a Shadow Walk here at any point, but there's the totem. And again, another reason why Galena is such a solid counter to Nyx is that you can put that totem on an item. And yeah, stay there as a Ghost Walk all you want. You're going to die as soon as you come back into the real world.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Especially with the totem placement there at the end. That was very, very good.
Round 2.
Really intelligent play and a good recovery from having that last champion. All right, so Ruleth over the top.
Again, big armor advantage for Ruleth in round 1. 6 to 1.
All right, so Ruleth listening for us, and yeah, as an Anarchy, you're not going to be very quiet, you're not going to be very sneaky. Ruleth taking a lot of damage here, though. They're both railable, which is kind of a moot point right now, but it definitely means they're rocketable. But here comes Mega. No real long-range damage possible from Sen as he's looking for an armor, but it's just split enough that Ruleth actually has the opportunity to get sight on him before the armor's taken away. It's going to be looking for him there. Oh, it's always such a difficult corner to spam because the sounds are a little bit ambiguous, and if you fire too early, your opponent can just stop in his tracks very easily.
Yep, just stop and watch that rocket go right by you.
Yep. All right, so a bit of a slower match here so far. No frags on the board just yet, but it looks like this fight for Mega might culminate in somebody hitting the ground. It's actually Ruleth getting off of the ground, taking away that Mega and getting a very clean route. It's not very often you see somebody outrun an Anarchy between the two items, but that's exactly what Ruleth did with beautiful placement from the dire orb. But man, this LG nailing him to the wall, and Sen is making Ruleth reconsider his options immediately.
Yeah, a little too careless. I know he felt he had the advantage, and he totally lost it getting careless there, pushing. Oh, now there's one good.
Why?
Oh, he missed it.
Oh,
He
no.
had that rocket.
8 HP though.
He had it.
That's so risky to stick around for. So here comes Ruleth as a clutch, getting a spawn just as Mega comes back up. So giving him a huge stack advantage here, especially as Sen is not right back into his natural stack just yet. I like this. Ruleth is baiting out these 225s. As Sen doesn't quite have timing on this Mega. I mean, armor's going to be up. Sen is still really weak here. Yeah, this machine gun is definitely the right choice. Oh, but there's the Mega taken. Oh, not the Mega, but just the adrenaline taken away.
Oh.
He's still going to get that armor, though. So lost opportunities for both of them, but they're still going to both come back into it right on top of the armor. Oh, geez, that pop. But there's the solid LG, even as he's flying above Ruleth, finding its way onto his forehead and taking him down.
8 health. Way to stick with your aim there too when he got bounced up. I mean, we've seen it. Clutch is really easy to lightning gun. So good job. I mean, he didn't have the shield and he knew it.
All right, so Ruleth. I mean, as a Galena, you can go incredibly defensive for such a long time, and Ruleth is taking advantage of that by going a little bit quiet, just, you know, tapping in, taking the armor, and fading away. Gonna try to lay down a few totems here and stay kind of quiet with the shotgun. Going up to rocket launcher, going to LG would both be kind of risky here, but he finds his way to get LG and completely bypass Sen. Sen had no idea, probably got a little bit of an audio cue, but completely missed his chance to catch up with them. But there's the totem, running into 75 damage immediately, gonna have to take a strong hit after that, as Mega's coming back up, and Ruleth actually maintained timing this whole time, or at least enough of an inkling of it, to get the grab pretty cleanly. So this next fight will be over armor. Is Sen going to get the right idea? Yes, he is, but his routing is a little bit off as he's immediately got to back off. So Ruleth, perfect routing, perfect play, keeping himself in the game.
Yeah, Ruleth's going to have to make a move here, though. He's, you know, a minute and a half to go, down 2. He really needs to frag in about the next 30 seconds.
There's the 225s taken away, but he's going to be so weak,
just
even
like
with
that.
the adrenaline taken. That'll be that Anarchy taken on down.
Yeah, he's definitely in the running now. Sen going with Nyx. You can tell he's planning to be defensive here.
And despite the small
minute.
frame from Galena, I mean, she can hold on to such a strong stack. And this is 2 relatively weak players coming out of Sen. So if this Nyx can be taken down in the next minute, we will be going potentially into overtime. And Ruleth is just banking on just softening up that Nyx with that nice machine gun. Looking for the Mega health that might allow this Nyx out of here, but no, it's not going to happen. There's only Sorlag to play with now.
Yeah, I don't know what. That was an oops or what? Oh, and he ate the. Oh, man.
A totem off the spawn for sure, yeah. All right, so there's Sorlag down below. Should be able to hear him, and there's the trap. Can't quite chase through the teleporter, but there's a toss above the totem up top. Oh, and the spit coming down below. Jeez. So there's the chase. And, oh my god, a direct rocket as well. There's the totem to regain the health on. So you take all that spit, sure, but then there's the totem that he threw up a few seconds earlier, getting him recovered and allowing him to finish off that Sorlag. Beautifully done.
Round begins in
Yeah, nice finish. Nice finish there for Ruleth. Down to a match round for him. I mean, he's end it right now. Sen's put up a good fight. I mean, he can come back here too, but it's looking like Ruleth has really got the momentum right now. And again, the armor pickups 12-3, and he even has a slight advantage with Mega Health 9-7. So
yikes!
Always nice.
It's these tough fights on the rocket launcher where neither player really wants to extract or even sees the option to extract, but that is going to be Ruleth's Ranger taken out of the game.
Yeah, it just didn't land as much shotgun damage as he needed to there.
Nice angle on that rocket. It's really something you have to calibrate yourself to. I mean, the speed that Clutch will be flying around, you have such a small opportunity to sneak those rockets and rails in, but Ruleth, as you can see, is a master of that so far. Good defensive rocket coming back in after the LG, and yeah, there's the pop-up of the shield. He is now on the chase. Anarchy has got to run away, but he's getting stuck on the doorway. Cannot find his way out of there, and Ruleth will be helping him out.
Yeah, the rocket knocked him just enough, right? And he tried to strafe jump away and circle jump out of there, and it, got caught, knocked right into the doorway. Good rocket by Ruleth.
And that Sorlag is going to be taking off so much of that stack with the acid. It's not an acid-proof robot for sure. We're down to only the Galena once again for Ruleth, but it is his match to win right now. He's got to be careful. He's had to hear Sorlag up there with the shotgun. Oh, he risks potentially running into the totem. There he is. He's so weak. He can only take away the 125, but it's not enough. It's down to Nyx, and as we've already seen, Galena is just poison to Nyx.
Yeah, not good, because one of those totems, I mean, it takes away half her full stack, so.
I really didn't like that play out of Ruleth. Is like, all right, he's already got a rocket launcher. Maybe you're banking on the fact that maybe he didn't get it, but Sen nearly took him out there with Ruleth being in a bad spot. There's the armor. Sen cannot really put any aggression on it. He actually really pushes forward on the teleporter exits. That was actually really close to a telefrag.
Yeah, very close. But Ruleth's in great shape right now. He should be looking to finish it now. He's got both major items. His totem's back up in case he needs it.
And the pressure is constantly going to be on Sen. The more time that Ruleth is allowed to survive as a Galena means that there's more totems to run into. But they're going to catch each other. Wow. Surprised that wasn't a telefrag either, but Ruleth takes relatively little damage. Oh, and we hear the donk from the totem.
Oh, my goodness.
Nearly taking Sen out.
Yeah, Ruleth's got to know he's
Yep,
he's
and you find him at the 225s.
Like,
Beautifully done.
Yeah. Yeah, well done. Good. That's a very common area to recover. Good play by Ruleth. Good finish. Good games. Close match.
That is how you Galena. I mean, the fact that Galena isn't played all that often is actually a bit of an advantage.